future Sangha out of compassion for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung đến đại đức tăng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, thiện chiến diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liều sanh thoát tư lý khổ đạt lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đần Thù Sư Chế Đô Yế Ở Lại Hờ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xế. Nam mô Tát Đắc Tha Tô Già Đà Già La Hà Đề Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Tòa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu sheng 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 wei miao fa, bai qian wan jie nan zao yu, wo jin jie wen de shou qu, yan jie ru lai zhen shi yi. O Buddhists and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Qingliang, Venerable YongHua, Venerable left-home people, and all good new advisors, Emituofo. 诸佛菩萨、金良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư, thầy Thiện Hoa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Okay, hello everyone. Today is the 22nd of May, 2021. We are at Wei Mountain Temple to continue discussing the preface to the Avatamsaka Sutra. We are towards the end of it. We hope to be able to finish it today. And after that, we move on to the prologue. Okay, both are written by the great Master Qingliang. So this is the ultimate wisdom in Buddhism. Actually, this is about learning about the ultimate knowledge in the universe. Okay, so it is actually very rare indeed to be able to encounter this. Do not be too obsessed about trying to understand. This is what most people are taken aback by this, because you're not supposed to be able to understand it. Amazingly, okay. We will bring it down to bring up a few aspects of it so that you're able to understand it, some of it. But you're not supposed to be able to understand it, because I don't, okay? And no one can. Only Buddhas can understand everything. We are students, so we are trying to learn as much as we can about it. But the mere fact we're able to be together And investigate this sutra is of primary importance because it will unleash the huge potential of our minds. Okay? What people don't realize is that we ourselves are limiting our own potential. We basically are saying, I don't think I can do it. Okay? And because of that, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you really believe that you can't do it, you won't be able to. So what matters is that we're able to get together and explore and just be exposed and read about it and hear about it and discuss about these important concepts, maybe once, okay? And then eventually those plants, the seeds for in the future, we'll be able to understand them, guaranteed. This is why we're doing this. This is why the Buddhas came to our world to share with us their knowledge. Case in point, here today on Saturday afternoon in the United States and early morning in Korea, okay? Here we have our notorious spy from the other side of the tracks, okay? And she's a typical example of the Buddhist wisdom. When she first came here to our temple about over 15 years ago, okay, she was only interested in working in the kitchen and help out. And that's the Chucha way of planning for the future. They're very smart. This Chucha tradition is that they understand that they need to plant blessings. And this particular person here has been to most Vietnamese temples, Chinese temples, Thai temples, Sri Lankan temples, you name it. Not because of Taiwanese temples, not because of for the sake of seeking wisdom. No, it's only for the sake of, based on the Chinese wisdom, for the sake of planting blessings. You go there and work in the kitchen, volunteer, and make a little bit of money donations and so forth. And that's how the Buddhists plant blessings. But this one is pretty smart. She chose the better places where to plant blessings. Okay? Buddhism is like farming. You need to know where to farm to get the best crops. Yes? Okay? Not all terrains are the same. Some are more suitable to plant grapes for wine. Some are more suitable to plant grapes for consumption. Mm-hmm. Similarly, in Buddhism, the same thing. You go to places where your planting blessing in those places will result in the corresponding results. So you go, this woman here, she went to all kinds of temples, and finally she decided to come regularly to our temple. Of course, without giving up the other temples, just in case. You never know. Okay? So this woman here would come on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, which is rare. Let's face it. Most of us are too busy. Who has time to go to the temples on the weekend? Okay? Only I would have time because I'm unemployed. With you who are working so hard all week, why would you want to go to the temple on the weekend? On both Saturdays and Sundays. Anyway, she would come to the temple for 2 days and cook in the kitchen. And then every now and then she would drop by because occasionally more people came and help out in the kitchen, so she had some free time. Plus, she needed to go to the Buddha hall to find out how many people would be eating so that she can cook the proper amount. appropriate amount. So occasionally she would go and then she listened to the liberal Dharma talk here and there, and then eventually she decided, let's meditate, okay? Because it's something I like to try. I keep on telling people that I meditate, I like to learn meditation, but I never did. Okay, so she tried meditation for a Chanqi intensive meditation retreat, and she liked it. Okay, and he never looked back because all these blessings she's been planting over the years are snowballing. Okay, and she started meditating more regularly. Would like to come to the sutra lectures every weekend now, and now she's here today. Okay, right there, still spying for her, her temples, but definitely she could come a long way from simply volunteering just to plant blessings. Now she actually has wisdom. Yeah, her samadhi level is very high, okay, higher than most monks and nuns. How's that? Okay, so my point being that she somehow chose to plant blessings in the proper places, and that's why these roots of blessings finally mature and enable her to open her wisdom, improve her health, okay? And I would dare to tell you that if she weren't able to improve her samadhi, her health would be so much worse. She probably would be not be able to walk by herself. She would probably need a cane by now, okay? Because of her age. She must be around 120 years old, I think. No? Okay. And you can tell that actually what's amazing is that her health actually today I found her to be so healthy, both physically and mentally, much more than I saw her several years ago. Go figure. Okay. So that's the thing that I'm trying to point out to you is that it's your mind that if you put yourself in the proper frame of mind, good things happen, okay? And before, if you ask her 15 years ago, before I came to the temple, ask her, you think when you're 120 years old, you can be that healthy as you are today? And she's probably saying, impossible, okay? So the point being that Buddhism to me is fascinating because it frees our minds from self-limitations. So that's why it's important for us. To me, my experience has been that it's the exposure to these concepts that are way beyond our understanding that will plant the seeds for us to be able to broaden our mind, okay? All right? So that's what happens. Why is it important? It's important not only for you, but for your children as well. I remember when I was younger, we, in Vietnam, we belonged to I would say, upper middle class, okay? Like most people. And yet my parents never taught me about these aspects of wisdom, about life. Never knew how to invest in me in terms of the spiritual side of life. We are pretty knowledgeable about investing for our children's future when it comes down to educations and jobs and so forth. But we don't know how to guide them in order to have a healthy mental and spiritual life because we don't know ourselves. How can we guide our children we don't know? So that's why after I encountered Mahayana Buddhism, and I realized that our education is so lacking. It's because, in particular, once I encountered this particular sutra here, the Avatamsaka Sutra, I realized the pitfalls of our education. We limit our minds. Because we limit our minds, we limit our potentials. And this particular sutra here, all of it is about breaking the shackles that you put on your mind. Okay? That's what we do to ourselves. You say, no, that's impossible. And the comforting thing about this thing is that this is the words of wisdom from the Buddhas, from the Bodhisattvas. Okay? And that's why you can trust them. All right. So we are now on slide 226. It's about the verses that this Bodhisattva, the great Bodhisattva, Jing Liang, he's actually probably a Buddha himself. But he manifested, he hit the Buddha stature and manifested as a Bodhisattva. So that's what Buddhism is called, disguise the great and manifest the small. Okay, so he wrote a verse to praise this particular sutra. Okay, and we are now on 226, towards the end of the verse, or the verses of praise. He says, Gatha, I now wish for one hair's breadth of wisdom to fathom the boundless Dharma realm's vast void.
我今欲以一毛具测量无边法界空。
Okay, it's a commentary in 227. I now wish for one hair's breadth of wisdom. He says, I realize that my wisdom is very limited. The amount of wisdom I have is about one hair's breadth, about one hair. Okay? Think of the hair, the invisible, virtually invisible hair you see on your skin for most Asians, most of us Asians. Okay? We have no hair. And maybe that's why they pick on us. Okay, so he says, my wisdom, if you take my wisdom, all of my wisdom I have is about the amount of a hair on my body. And I use that to try to fathom the boundless Dharma realm's vast void. And this is the analogy of the Buddha's wisdom. The Buddha's wisdom is as vast as the empty space of all the universe. Okay? The universe, whatever it is, wherever it is, okay? Okay? All of that is the size of the Buddha's wisdom. What is it? It's supposed to be unfathomable. It's supposed to be limitless. So you take the limited wisdom you have, okay? One hair's worth, meaning not only small, but also limited, also measurable. Is that clear? This is who we are. We are limited. Okay? We have limitations. And that, we use that to try to penetrate, to try to gauge, to try to understand this vast, endless, infinite wisdom of the Buddha. That's what we're doing when we study this particular sutra. This morning, we had a chant class. That's where we learn how to increase our concentration okay? Increase our samadhi, okay? And that's what the Chan school excels at doing, is that it helps us build our concentration power. And it's a proven methodology that the late Chinese great teacher, Master YongHua, brought to our country. Okay? And so this morning we learn how to increase our samadhi level, okay? In order to harness more and more our power to penetrate this boundless wisdom of the Buddha. And that's possible because there's a methodology in the Chan school that will enable you to enter this boundless void that is comparable to the Buddha's wisdom. It has been done before. Buddha himself went through a similar process, in the Chan training process, in order to open his Buddha's wisdom. Okay? As Buddhism is very egalitarian. They don't say that I'm a Buddha now, therefore you cannot be a Buddha. You're supposed to be worshiping me. I need more worshipers. I don't need more Buddhas. Buddhas don't think like that. Instead, Buddhas are willing to share with us their infinite wisdom and teach us from their own experience how to realize this infinite, boundless wisdom through something called Chan. So it's a beautiful thing because when you do Chan, you practice Chan, and then at the same time you investigate Avatamsaka Sutra, actually it's complementary. Okay? It helps you Chan skill develop a lot faster. Okay? So that's why we're doing this. Questions or comments? Okay? And on this commentary slide, also very important here is that you have to be aware that unlike modern day people where they think they're hot potatoes, because I'm not trying to avoid using impolite words. Okay? So you think we're so cool, we're so special, and actually, the requisite for us to open this infinite potential of our mind is humility. And that's what he's saying. He says, in a most humble way, I know I'm limited, but I believe I can use my limited mind, my limited wisdom, and work on it, and will unfold it to the point where it becomes as infinite as the Buddha's wisdom, because he has the proven technology to do that already throughout the history of Buddhism everywhere in this universe. So far, so good? Okay? So, contrary to modern day people, where they think they're cool, they think they're special, in Buddhism, okay, you need to be humble. Okay? The more humble you are, the broader your mind becomes. Agree or disagree? You think you're special, you simply are limiting yourself, that's all. You're limiting yourself to the think that you imagine what makes you so special. Make sense or not? You think you're cool, you're special, you're hot potatoes, you're limited to being a hot potato. You find it funny? I find it very, very disappointing that you're only a hot potato. All right. No questions or comments? All right. So amazingly, let me tell you one thing that don't tell the kids about. I hope the kids don't get it because they get so arrogant. Even they don't get what we're talking about. The fact today we have a few kids here, 4 kids, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids here. Okay, they're goofing off, playing around with each other, whatever. But the mere fact they hear the sound here, and if they're not deaf, anyone who has any of the kids cannot hear. Okay, as long as you can hear, okay, that plants the seeds of infinite wisdom in you. Okay, it's not something you can understand, but it's going to happen. All right, next to 28. Continuing with the verses. May I receive the triple jewel's kindness of identity in substance, in each phrase profoundly meshing with all Buddha's intent.
愿成三宝同体词，句句名符诸佛意。
All right, I warn you, it's pretty deep, okay? And again, I'm warning you not to try to understand too much, because you can't. Okay, we can't. I'm going to pretend that I understand a little bit more than you. Okay, and I do. I'm only pretending that I understand a lot more than you do, but it's not true. Okay, I understand a little bit more. So let me share it with you. Okay, the very concept in Mahayana only, which is high-level wisdom, concept called same substance, or the Buddhist translation-wise is identity in substance, meaning same substance. Okay? Only in Buddhism you have this. You will not find it in Catholicism. You will not find it in yoga. You will not find it in anyone else, including Hinayana, including Theravada, however you want to call it, okay? Whatever you want to call it, you will not find it except in Mahayana. Guaranteed. So far, so good. So this is the only place where you're going to learn this. Okay? Identity of substance. What does it mean? Okay? It means that our makeup, your makeup, and mine, okay, we made of the same thing as the Buddhas. We're not different. So, if you think yourself as hot potatoes, then you actually are insulting yourself. You think, I'm so hot. Okay? Basically, you're saying, I'm so limited. Okay? You should be thinking, I am as infinite as the Buddhas. Okay? I may be short, maybe young, but I'm the same substance as all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And that's why I call being special. I don't call that calling ourselves thinking we're a hot potato is a cool thing. No, the cool thing is that I'm the same as the Buddhas. Okay? I'm the same substance. Okay? So, what does it mean? It means that all living beings, you and your dog. This morning, someone came to me and said, thank you for helping my dog survive. I didn't do anything. I didn't dare say that. But, truth be told, okay, your dog, you, your mother, your neighbor, we all of the same substance as the Buddhas. Okay? We are not different. How is it possible? Because think of it as the Chinese Buddhist teaching is that it's like we are like a wave in the ocean. The wave is part of the ocean. Bigger yet, wave is part of water. Okay? So, you see, that's what the same substance right there. We call it wave, but actually, it's still water. Yes, white. Spy number 1.
Mô Phật bạch thầy. Bạch thầy nói mình là một thể với Đức Phật. Thì ai nào cũng tương tự là cũng có hết. Mà tại sao mà tu hoài nó không có nhập vô được một thể của Đức Phật? Hoặc là mình cái nghiệp nặng quá. Có khi thầy thiết ra thì không ai nghe được, không ai thấy được, không ai nhận được.
Okay?
Mô Phật.
Translation.
Master, you said that we all living beings have the same substance as the Buddha, but how come we've been cultivating and we couldn't enter that substance? Or because our karmic retribution was so heavy that even you explain to us, you say it, but we couldn't hear it, we couldn't understand.
YouTube, give it to her. Let her have it.
It was a question. It was not an
No
answer.
question, forget the question. We have a big question here. Sorry, wait for your turn. This is a big question. I'm not sure we have enough time to address this question today. Okay, anyone else would like to? Let her have it. Sunims, let her have it. Let the spies have it. Huh? Korea, help us out. You've been going to training, going to school, learning all the Buddhist wisdom here. Let her have it. How come she says, how come we are the same as the Buddha, and yet I don't feel like a Buddha? After all these years, I still don't feel like a Buddha. Anyone? Come on, let her have it. What's going on? We see some people are sleeping, some people are... What happened? Let her have it. Don't be polite. She's a spy. You don't need to hold back. Orange.
Master, is it because we have multitudes of offenses and our own problems that prevent us from seeing that?
Okay, obstructions. Okay.
Yes, Master.
It's true. Spies have more obstructions because they think of themselves as spies. Therefore, they have more obstructions because the thought that I'm a spy, okay, is an obstruction itself. Anyone else? Let her have it. Pink, red.
A Di Đà Phật. A Di Đà Phật, thưa thầy, mình với Đức Phật với các chúng sanh đều có cái Phật tánh, đó là cái tánh biết giống nhau. Mà vì mình vô minh sai lầm nhiều đời nhiều kiếp, mình cứ chạy theo cái vọng tưởng sai lầm của mình, rồi mà không thấy mình có sẵn cái Phật tánh giống Đức Phật. Thì cái cô này đó cũng như con trước đây thôi, bây giờ cũng vậy. Thì cứ theo chương trình huấn luyện của chùa là ngồi thiền, tụng kinh, bái sám, làm phước. Những cái đó cộng lại thì là một lúc nào đó đủ chín mùi thì sẽ thấy thôi.
Okay, YouTube has the answer too.
Daniel says she does not feel like a Buddha because she is not a Buddha.
How true. Okay, can we try this? Would you like to try an experiment? YouTube, answer number 2.
Normalized Audio's answers, it's the 5 kilesas, which are the avidya, which is ignorance, asmita, or selfishness, raga, which is attachment, dvisha, which is aversion, and abhinvisha, which is fear.
Oh my God, I don't know what he's talking about. It sounds good. Okay. He's showing my ignorance right here. I'm a Dharma master. I don't even know what he's talking about. Okay? All right. Can we do an experiment? Would you like to do an experiment? This is when I shy away from theories and go into practices. Give Alung a brick, okay, and tell him to go over and hit her in the head and see, maybe it opens up her wisdom. Yeah, go ahead, hit her. See? Go ahead, son, go ahead, okay? Yeah, she doesn't bite. She just had lunch. Huh? Beat her up. You see, hey, Buddha, come out. Tell her, beat her up and say, hey, Buddha, where are you? Come on out. Huh? No? Okay. All right. Why don't you feel like a Buddha? Because you need a little bit longer time than that. Okay. In order, YouTube, go ahead, answer.
Emily says, we have too many humanly afflictions to overcome.
Yeah, okay. Let me put it this way for you. Okay. Think of the Buddha as this universe, right? In this universe, one corner of the universe, you shine a light, you know what happens? The light goes and goes and goes and goes. You know that? Did you know that? Scientifically, okay, it goes. It doesn't stop. Yeah, it goes around. Okay, so my point is that even with the speed of light, it still takes time for it to travel space. Got that? Yeah. So that's why, even though you're part of the same universe, you're in this corner here, you want to talk to command center, it still takes time, okay, for it to happen. The same thing. Right now, you still can connect. We still connect to command center. However, you need more time. Then the Buddha himself, who's now aware of the entire universe, you yourself only aware of your body. Whereas the Buddha looks at the entire universe as himself. Whereas we look at our body as us. And we are different from the Buddha. Buddha don't think like we do. And we're learning how to reach a Buddha state ourselves. So it takes time. And what's the most important thing is not about wanting to be a Buddha right away. The most important message is that you yourself can be just like a Buddha. Don't limit yourself. Don't sell yourself short. That's the message. Okay, that's what happens. Confused people say, no, I'm not the Buddha. No, I'm not God. Okay, no, I cannot be as the same as God. Because in doing that, you limit yourself. That's what you're doing. That's the message. Got it? Okay, because listen, Billy right there today, you talk to him, he says, no, I'm no Buddha. I don't care what you tell me. True or not? He really believes that he's no Buddha. I mean, with all due respect, Master, I'm no Buddha, okay? You cannot tell me I'm the same substance as the Buddha. And because of that, he's not a Buddha. Okay? Not this lifetime. That is this lifetime, if you keep on thinking yourself and expanding your, eliminating your self-limitations, you may have a chance this lifetime or next lifetime. But if you keep on telling yourself, no, I'm no Buddha, there's no way I can become a Buddha, and for sure you won't become a Buddha, because you yourself says you can't. That's a truism in this universe. You limit yourself. Is that clear? YouTube answer.
He-Yun says, we don't have enough virtue and blessing to be Buddha. We are waiting for our turn.
We not really waiting our turn. We are work in progress. Okay? We are on the way, if you will. Okay? Yeah. Yes, Orange.
Master, is it that we are on the way because we're willing to accept that we have the Buddha nature in us?
Let me give you an analogy to see if this may make sense to you. Anyone wants to become a millionaire? Who doesn't want to become a millionaire? Raise your hands. You don't want to become a millionaire? Oh, good Lord. Put your hand down. Something wrong with you. Who doesn't want to become rich? Raise your hand. So I'm going to use a millionaire as an example. Okay? You are going to become a millionaire. Yeah, see, 2 hands right there, making up for all the rest. See, young man too, right there. Say, I want to become a millionaire. See, he's smart. Okay? Very good. You see, you want to become a millionaire. Can you become a millionaire right now, young man? Just because you say, I want to become a millionaire. Can you become a millionaire? You have to work for it. Yes? You have to go to school. Huh? You have to learn. You have to learn how to count up to 1 million. Can you count up to 1 million? Not yet. You can. Okay, very good. How about 2 million? My point here is that it takes time. We have to work for it. You don't just say, I wish it comes true, and it comes true. It doesn't work like that in life. In life, my friend, we have to work for everything. Okay? So the message, the point here is that if you set your goals too low, that's all you're going to get. And this sutra here says, don't set your goals too low. Okay? You are much better than that. And Billy says, I don't know about that. I'm still trying to get a job. And you're talking about becoming a millionaire. You see? It's because you think like that, you never become a millionaire. Never. All right? Any other questions? Yes, White.
Mô Phật bạch Thầy, bây giờ con đó, nói xin lỗi, con trở về tiểu phú rồi đó Thầy.
What?
Mô Phật bạch Thầy, con bây giờ nói xin lỗi, con Thầy nói về Thầy cũng biết con rất là con đường rất là dài, rất là cực khổ, rất là cơ hàn. Bây giờ con trở về tiểu phú rồi đó Thầy. Yeah. Tiểu phú ở trong nhà Phật đó, không phải tiểu phú ở trên thế gian Thầy.
Okay, she says, I'm a millionaire now. Even though the long road has been long, I become a millionaire. I say what? You don't look like a millionaire. She says, no, I'm a millionaire in Buddhism. Hallelujah. Anyone else? Okay. All right. So that's it takes time. We all need time to get there. But the most important thing is not to stop prematurely. Keep walking. Keep going towards it. Okay. Another concept about same substance. Remember, same substance is that this Buddha here, unlike us, his mind is limitless. That's why because his mind is limitless, his body is also limitless. You cannot become a Buddha until your mind becomes limitless. And the reason, again, that your mind is not limitless, because somewhere in the corners of your mind, you said, no, I can't do this. No, I can't do this. No, I can't do that either. Somewhere. Okay? And that's why your mind is not limitless. You have these prejudices that inhibit you from attaining the limitless. So far, so good? All right. Okay. And there also, when you talk about same substance or identity in substance, okay, it's like we're talking about same substance, not same. You understand? Same body. Okay? A wave is the same substance as water. Water is the Buddha. Wave is us. We have this water here. Water in the entire universe has waves. We are that compared to the Buddha. But we're close. See? We have the same makeup of water. But because of our limited mind, okay, we can only experience the extent of a wave as compared to the awareness of the Buddha, awareness of all the water. Is that clear? Same thing. Similarly, in Buddhist teachings, it's like the four limbs compared to the body. The four limbs. The arms, only where the arms, you go like this to build up your muscle right here. You're only aware of this. Okay? But the body, you forget that this arm here is part of a bigger part, bigger entity called body. Okay? So Buddha is a body and we are just arms or limbs. So far so good. So we're part of the same system, the same substance, if you will. All right? Also, as we get a little bit deeper later in the sutra, and I probably don't want to go in it today because many of you are new to Buddhism and so forth, so I don't want to overwhelm you too much. Especially Bosco here just came back from a crazy hospital for the crazy people, so you don't want to overwhelm him yet. Okay, this is going from the insane to the truly insane. That's too much. Okay, so YouTube question. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, YouTube had a question earlier.
A question from earlier from Pingdan Qingjing. She asked, what about seeing the text or master? Do they plant the seeds also?
Absolutely. When we talk about listening, or seeing, those are basically representatives of your sense organs. If you're blind, you can feel the Braille characters, okay? That plants the seeds as well, okay? If you are if you can read the text, that's the same as planting seeds, if you will. Anything else?
Yes, Pingdan Qingjing asks another question. It's how do you expect to get it by just listening to Master? Buddha cultivates eons of time, and not even the 6 patriarchs' disciples or Buddha's disciples get it.
I'm just talking theory, I don't know. Anyone else? Help me out here. Spy number 1 has an opinion.
Mô Phật bạch thầy, miễn mà mình muốn giống Đức Phật vậy đó thì mình phải cố gắng đi rất sâu, rất lâu dài.
Yeah, that's a typical answer. Give me something else just to impress this online person here, to show that you understand Buddhism. Someone? Anyone? Anyone? Bosco? So how can I expect to be the Buddhist thing when even the 6 patriarchs, disciples who are so advanced, they still are not Buddhists? How can we expect to be Buddhists? Black. Purple.
They don't know how to Lisa. Lisa. Did I say it right in Mandarin? Lisa. Li kai de li, xiang de xiang. How to say that? Yeah.
Li xiang.
They don't know, they get stuck. They don't know how to Lisa.
Your Mandarin is horrible.
Yeah, so I need to learn from you. I'm a Vietnamese monk. This is a joke, okay?
Li
I will
xiang.
repent. I repent for the rest of my year because I just said that.
It is so Cantonese. They use, big words. Li xiang. You can't say it like in a way that even kids understand. Because what happens when people use big words is proof that they still don't get it. Another thing I hate more than I ask a question to a monk and says, oh, it's because they throw a whole dictionary at you like I'm doing to you right here. You look at this slide here, it's all from a dictionary. All this right here, 229. This from the Fo Guangshang dictionary, this very famous big dictionary, okay? You get all this. And you can probably spend a week talking about this right now on this particular slide. Okay, because if I get started, there's no end to this. Bullet number 2 here, okay? When I get going on this, it's not enough time. And you will get so lost. But I'm only throwing out here just to impress you, that I dare throw things at you, this at you, and if you dare ask me a question, I would say, you're so stupid. You don't even get this. You see? I don't talk about this because I know you don't get it. But I only leave it here to impress you. So, since you still are not impressed, I have to point out to you you're stupid. Okay? Yeah. So how do you answer this stupid question? Remember, she's a spy. We don't need to be polite. The question is that how can the question from the internet, how can I expect to become a Buddha because the more advanced disciples are like disciples of Master Huineng, 6 patriarchs, can't aren't even the Buddhas, how can we even dream of becoming a Buddha, being a Buddha or being comparable or being mentioned in the same sentence? And there you go. Yes, Orange.
Well, the question, I think, is really limiting because you don't know what happened to the rest of those disciples. You don't know if they didn't eventually become Buddhas. So who's to say?
Precisely. What makes you think that one of those disciples is actually a Buddha disguised as a low-level person? How do you know? Huh? Are you sure? Are you sure you're so sure that no one is a Buddha in that audience? Huh? Will you stake your life on that? If you're willing to do that, can I first interest you in some bitcoins or something? Huh? You're willing to take a chance investing in those cryptocurrencies and lose your shirt. Okay? But you're not willing to invest in yourself. And you say, no, I'm no Buddha. How do you know? In Buddhism, there's something called certain teaching. You understand the Buddha just like this. That's all it takes. That's how long it takes for you to become a Buddha, to have the same wisdom as a Buddha. This is how fast. How do you know that maybe in a few more days when you die and we decide, okay, it's time for you to become a Buddha and give you a certain teaching, you become a Buddha? How do you know? Yes, crazy doctor.
I think the question from the YouTube, right?
Yeah.
The one who asked get confused. I think he or she should make a distinction between the title versus the being. The being doesn't need to get a word say, hey, this guy is Buddha or not. A being doesn't need to be recognized. So maybe get stuck with the appearances, the word to quantify this person or this, oh yes, master, right, is a real Buddha. In that title, entitlement to quantify. Maybe that is the case.
So I can see how Bosco works at work. He says, you are crazy. But let me tell you, okay, it's only a concept. You're really not crazy.
Diagnosis. We need to get diagnosis, and that's why we can claim insurance. Without giving you diagnosis, we cannot claim to the insurance.
You see?
That's all the ball game, right?
See?
Yes.
That's why this guy remains a crazy doctor instead of a Buddha. See, I rest my case. He says, I'm a crazy doctor first. I need to build the insurance company. Whereas he should be thinking, I'm a Buddha. I don't need to build the insurance company. The insurance company is me. Got it? Same answer for that internet question. Why are you limiting yourself? If you like that, who's going to teach you to become a Buddha? Because you say, no, don't teach me. I'm no Buddha. You see the problem, folks? You tell yourself, I'm no Buddha right now. Okay? I'm no Buddha. Then at the same time, you look at me, you say, I'm no Buddha. Then at the same time, I'm getting is that I'm not going to teach you because it's a waste of my time to teach you how to become a Buddha. Because you're not going to believe it. It's a waste of my time. Same thing with this crazy doctor. He said, I must build the insurance company first. That's the purpose of my life. So how can he become a Buddha? He only sees insurance companies.
This I have I don't see insurance company. I only see money behind the insurance company.
It's even more hopeless than I thought.
Insurance company is just the name, but behind it is money.
You see the point? Is that that you limiting yourself. The message I've been sending you for the last hours, do not limit yourself. And what does this person do? He says, I'm no Buddha. I don't care what you say. Yes, back there. Microphone.
Dạ thưa thầy, con có một câu hỏi anh, nếu trong hợp mà khi mà muốn tu tới đồng thể như vậy là mình phải thu cái thập địa của nó hay là sao vậy thầy? Khi mà mình muốn nhập vô cái đồng thể của Bồ Tát thì mình phải thu cái thập địa của nó hay là mình phải làm sao để bước vô cái đồng thể của nó?
Master, I have a question. If we want to cultivate to the point that we have the same substance, how do we enter it? By enter the crown or what is that?
Good question, but I don't have the answer. Next. Okay, Pink.
A Di Đà Phật, câu thứ nhất của YouTube đó thì con xin có ý kiến thế này là cái câu hỏi không có rõ. Mà không rõ mình trả lời thì cũng tới ngày mai cũng không có xong. Bây giờ trước nhất phải định nghĩa Phật là cái gì. Mới hỏi tại sao tôn thành Phật. Phật là quý vị thấy tượng sành trắng trắng đó, hoặc là tượng vàng đứng phía sau đó là 32 tướng. Bây giờ phải hiểu đầu tiên Phật là cái gì cái đã, mới tại sao tôi không thành được. Ngài A Nan bị gì theo 6 căn 6 trần mà Ngài A Nan mắc nạn. Thì trong Kinh Lăng Nghiêm Đức Phật mới chỉ ông Phật là cái gì. Phật là biết nghe, cái biết của ông đó là kêu Phật. Tùy theo quả báo tướng, mỗi gì Phật cái tướng nó khác nhau. Nhưng mà cái biết đó không có ai khác hết, ai cũng giống mình, cũng giống con chó, con mèo cũng có. Cái biết đó gọi là Phật. Thì Ngài Đức Phật mới đánh cái tiếng chuông. Hỏi Ngài A Nan nghe không? Ngài A Nan nói nghe. Giờ tôi không đánh ông có nghe không? Ngài A Nan nói không nghe. Thì Phật nói là tôi không đánh tiếng chuông, cái nghe ông vẫn còn đó, cái biết ông vẫn còn đó, cái biết đó là cái Phật tánh của ông đó. Thì cuối cùng hỏi Bồ Tát Quan Thế Âm. Ngài nói Ngài tu là Ngài nghe, cái biết nghe đó đó. Bây giờ chiếc máy bay bay ngang ồn quá, mình biết máy bay nó ồn mà mình nghe cái biết nghe máy bay nó ồn của mình đó. Bồ Tát Quan Âm Ngài tu như vậy đó. Thì một ngày kia Ngài chúng sanh nghĩ cái gì Ngài biết hết. Trong thế gian này bao nhiêu giọt mưa Ngài đếm được. Thì Ngài chứng lần chứng nó có cạn có sâu, như cô Hồng mới hỏi đó. Chứng cạn thì sơ địa, nhị địa, tam địa, đến thập địa là gần như hoàn toàn dứt hết vô minh rồi thì mới thập địa rồi 100% không còn gì nữa là Phật. Nó rõ ràng như vậy, cái định nghĩa trong Kinh Lăng Nghiêm đó. Con xin hết.
Try to translate that.
Master, to answer the YouTube question, first of all, the answer is not very clear. So if we spend the time, maybe it's until tomorrow, we still cannot answer it. But the first thing you need to know is, what is the definition of Buddha? What is a Buddha? So the Buddha, is he like the statue, the white statue behind you with 32 hallmark? So in the sutra, the Circumambulation Sutra, Anand was chased after the sixth sense organ, so that's why he get into trouble. And then the Buddha rescued him, and the Buddha taught him that the knowing nature is actually your Buddha. All of beings have it. The dog, the cat has it. So the Buddha hit the bell and asked Anand, do you hear it? Do you hear the sound? Anand answered, yes. And Buddha asked, when I don't hit the bell, did you hear it? And Anand answered, no. But actually, the Buddha pointed out that even though there's no sound, you still have your hearing nature. And Guo Yin Bodhisattva, she cultivates on her hearing nature. That's why she can hear everything to the point one day she can hear all of the living beings. She can hear all of the drop of rain in this universe. So same thing with the question that Hong asked earlier, that you just need to cultivate, and then once you attain enlightenment, you can enter the first ground, Bodhisattva, and then you open up more, you move up to the second ground, up to the 10th ground, and the ultimate wisdom is to become the Buddha. That's when you know everything, you know 100%.
Can we go back to insurance company money, please? If I need to want to criticize, is two things. I would make a correction. But go ahead, I'll let YouTube answer first.
Emily says, it sounds like a low self-esteem thought, which I thought the same with myself until I listened to Shifu. Then I realized that I should aim for the highest.
Becoming a policewoman, wearing real weapons. Okay. Point number one. If I were to use the example in that Circumambulation Sutra where he hits a bell, the Buddha hits a bell and asks Ananda, can you hear? Ananda says, yes, we're only one, I can hear. And then he didn't hit the bell and said, can you hear? Ananda says, no, I can't hear. The Buddha should have said, idiot. You heard, no sound. That's a much more, much clearer explanation than say your hearing is still there. Simply say you heard, no sound. So use that in the next time you quote that sutra. I keep on hearing people quoting that, and I chuckle. I said, of course you're hearing either the sound of the bell or you hear the sound of nothing. Instead of saying the hearing continues. Does it make sense? You hear, and you still continue to hear. When I stop hitting this, you continue to hear my voice. You're hearing this right now because I'm hitting. I stop hitting, you're still hearing my voice. Okay, that's number one. Number two is that he's not wrong. His quotes are correct, but doesn't answer her question directly. She says, me, how do I accomplish the same substance here? It's a very good question. He says, you talk big. Basically, she says, Master, you talk big. I've been listening to you for the last hour or so about the same substance, identity and substance. Just tell me, how do I get there? Fair question. Yes? That's a question that begs to be asked. Good question. You didn't answer her. She said, it sounds good, but how do I get there? That's what the question is. She says, don't tell me insurance company and all those things. I don't care. Tell me, how do I get there? Answer is, I don't know. Either you know or you don't know. Simple, right? You have to be honest. If you don't know, you say you don't know. You don't say, You don't know because you never could help anyone get there. The question is basically say, did you help anyone get there? Can you help me? And I said, I don't know. It's the safest answer. Yes, you too.
Daniel asks, we already have the same substance as Buddha, is that right?
The answer is, I don't know. He's Catholic. What do we care? No matter what we say, he's still Catholic. It's no gains at all. So I don't know. YouTube question.
YongHua asks, does Chan meditation naturally help us to open our mind toward limitless mind like Buddha's?
Absolutely. And we have, as I said, we have thousands of 10,000s of millions of billions of people have done it already in the history of Buddhism. Of course it can be done. Okay? And if the question is, can you show me how to get there? I say, I don't know. Easy answer. I know it's been done before. Historically, it's been done. Master YongHua is one of them. Okay? He has a Tongti, same substance. Many of his disciples have achieved same substance. Many of my disciples also achieved same substance. Okay? Questions, can you help me? How can I get there? I look at you and say, I don't know, because I don't know you. About you. I don't know about insurance scams, artists. You see that? But it's possible. You understand? I'm not being facetious. I'm not being equivocal, okay, vague about this. Historically has been done before. It's a fact that Master YongHua disciples achieved it. Okay? Our disciples at our temple achieved it as well. So it's doable. How do you get there? I don't know. Does it help? Okay? Very good. Okay. Next bullet. Okay. I warn you, this is very profound. And again, don't try. Again, good question. And it's the kind of question that the quickest answer is, I don't know. Okay? Because it's a lot of work. So if you try to go through all the details, it's not enough time. That's why it's better to say, I don't know whether it works, because it's too many steps. If you're there, and if you're ready, done. But you're not ready, it takes many steps, is the answer. Therefore, because too many steps, I don't know. Is it clear? Also, when you talk about same substance here, okay, in this particular sutra, the Avatamsaka Sutra, the utmost knowledge, highest level of knowledge in Buddhism or in the universe, if you will, is nothing higher in terms of wisdom than this. Okay? Nothing. There's something called shu shu wu ai, meaning that phenomenon, unobstruction of phenomenon and phenomenon. So anyway, that's what the second bullet is about. Okay, don't worry about it. I'm going to gloss it over because the same principle as you online people and you present today. Too many steps, okay? Let's just skip it, okay? I propose. We can go back to it in other occasions. As we learn more, we dig deeper into this sutra, we have plenty of opportunities. I just throw this at you to tell you that, this sutra is very profound. It has many different angles. Don't think that you don't expect to be able to understand it right away, okay? It takes time, okay? And that's part of the wonder. Okay, the wonder is that you discover your mind. When your mind expands, then that's when you're able to connect with all these things, okay? There are still many wonders in this life, in this universe, that makes life interesting, makes living interesting, makes life wonderful. Because there's so much more we can learn, so much more we can discover, okay? Because there's so much more our mind is able to achieve, okay? Again, it's only possible when you don't limit yourself and you become Buddhist, because Buddhists don't limit themselves. Okay? Buddhists don't limit themselves because Buddhists are taught that they can be the same as the Buddhas. Whereas in the other religions, they said, you are not the same as the God you're worshiping. Okay? Right there is a limitation, right there. Right from the outset where you are inferior to me. Okay? Whereas in Buddhism, you and Buddha are one and the same. It's a matter of time. Okay? And that's what's fascinating about this. Okay? And that's why when you improve, you see, oh, wow. You see, your mind opens up and your mind lights up. It's brighter inside your mind. You say, wow, I didn't realize it. And then, wow, you make new discoveries. Okay? That's what makes life so fascinating, so intriguing, so rewarding. Last night, I was working with 3 or 4 of my disciples. I showed them how to fix a problem, how to deal with a problem. Within 24 hours, we achieve something they never could do before. They didn't think they could do themselves before. And as we finished the work, I look at them, I see how happy they were. They say, wow, I didn't realize I could do this. I didn't realize that all these years of training is for me to be able to do that when the time comes. Isn't it cool? They're excited. And I say, yeah, I've seen it before. No need to get so excited. Big deal. Okay? But I'm trying to relate to you the excitement of these people when they say, wow, they're so cool. He talked about it, talked about it, and made me do all these things. And finally, I'm actually able to do it and help others. Myself. He didn't lift a finger, he just opened his mouth. And that's what I'm talking about. Life is beautiful, so wonderful, because you become so beautiful, so wonderful. Not someone else, it's you. It's they who says, wow, it's me. It's me, it's not just words, not just empty promises. It's I can do this. I'm better than God, if you will. Okay? Never thought I was able to. I think now I can. It's so cool. Anyway, I can't, I can't really give you more details about the excitement and so forth because, too many steps. Next bullet. When we talk about same substance, something called triple jewel. This is a concept I'm willing to discuss with you today. It is the same substance as a triple jewel. Okay? What are we talking about? Why is there such a thing in Buddhism? Why do we keep on talking about triple jewel? This important concept, triple jewel, what is it? And we all have the same substance as a triple jewel. So when we worship, we bow the triple jewel. What are we bowing? Ourselves. Why would you settle for less? When you worship, we pray to a divine being. There's separation, isn't there? You are here, and the divine being is up there. In Buddhism, when you bow here, you're bowing to your totality that you're part of. Isn't it beautiful? I try, just hang in there. Okay? So, this is same substance and triple jewel. Why? Let me explain this to you and see how wonderful it is. Okay? Triple jewel has three aspects: Buddha jewel, Dharma jewel, and Sangha jewel. Right? We all know that, right? What is Buddha jewel? Buddha jewel has the capacity of being enlightened. Where am I? Right here. Enlightened and to illuminate. Buddha is a state of awakened. Being awakened, being enlightened, meaning that there's no confusion in here, in your brains. When Shakyamuni Buddha was in the world, his mind was clear, as bright as the sun. And he used that brightness to illuminate the dark corners of Apple's minds. So Buddha is the personification of this brightness in this universe that can be used to illuminate darkness everywhere. Insurance money, half Chinese, lowly Chiu Chow, and sleepy monk. Okay? It can illuminate everywhere, everything, and bring light and brightness to everything. Isn't that powerful? If you don't understand anything, unclear about something, Buddha can help resolve it. You want to become some substance. Okay? Buddha can resolve it, but I don't know. See the difference? So Buddha is the state of enlightenment whose purpose. Remember, you become enlightened for the purpose of illuminating darkness in the world. That's why we become enlightened. You want to become enlightened because you think it's beneficial for you. But no, Buddha becomes enlightened because he wants to illuminate the entire universe. That's his job. You, enlightenment to you is so beneficial, so wonderful, so fantastic. But it's useless unless it's used to illuminate darkness. Yeah, cool. This is nothing about you, nothing about become a millionaire, become a billionaire, become the famous investor, the oracle of some kind of state in the Midwest. Okay? It's never about that. It's about you. How do we illuminate your mind, the dark corners of your life? Well, that's what Buddhas and Bodhisattvas do. Not in order for you to become Buddhist, but to help you eliminate darkness, confusion, which brings about suffering. If you confuse, you are ignorant, that is the source of all your suffering. Is that clear? This is why the Triple Jewel is so revered, because the personification of Triple Jewel is that Buddha whose purpose is to bring light to our lives. That's our ideal, folks. We do this in order to help everyone, because all of us and Buddhas are one substance. You do it not because you benefit yourself, but what's the point? You don't need to benefit yourself. Huh? You just do it because that's what you do for yourself, for everyone. When you and everyone is the same, you and gods are the same, you and the demons are the same, then you do everything in order because it's a natural thing to do. You don't question it anymore. You say, no, it's not beneficial to me. No, I prefer this over that. You know, let me benefit the Nazis first. Huh? Understand? Isn't it cool? It's so liberating. You don't look at yourself as Catholics anymore. We're all Buddhists. No, I'm not taking questions. Black. Oh, good Lord. This guy will keep on throwing, darts at me.
I actually agree with you.
What? Sacrilegious. I will
Because
talk to your God, report you.
Because we also believe that, as you guys believe everyone is Buddhist, we also believe that everyone is Catholic, even Buddhists are Catholic.
I wouldn't go that far. Never mind. Take the microphone back from him. Isn't that cool? I want you to know how liberating it is. Okay? That is, there is no distinction between Buddhas and us. The distinction is in us, not in Buddhas. If you want to become a Buddha, start acting like one. Stop behaving like a Catholic. Just kidding, just kidding. You understand? So Buddha jewel is so honorable, so remarkable. So selfless. Because you're all the same. There's no need for a self anymore. When you have one same, you only have one thing here and all together, there's no more self. Yeah, beautiful. Number 2 jewel is the Dharma jewel. The Dharma jewel and the Sangha jewel are arisen from the virtues of the Buddhas. This is a very beautiful concept. Buddha himself is enlightened and is there to illuminate the whole world because of that virtuous conduct. That's what he does. Arises the Dharma and the Sangha. We're talking about beauty here, folks. Okay? It's beyond scheming. It's beyond conjuring, beyond scheming for insurance money and saving money. All those things, making more money. No, it's about same substance. You make more money, it's the same as me making more money. Give it to me to prove it. You understand? So the Dharma jewel, okay? I prepared a slide for you. Oh, yes, Korean in there. Okay? The Dharma jewel is because from the virtuous conduct of the Buddhas arises these tips, these teachings, these advices called Dharma, which are actually paradigms or models. Okay? Quy phạm, quy phạm. Okay? It's very, very important. The Dharma, the Buddhist teaching, Mahayana teaching, is actually a set of models, paradigms. Okay? All right? All this knowledge, special kind of knowledge. What special kind of knowledge? Huh? So this young novice here, she came from Korea a month ago, and she came and said, I'm special. I have a full life. And now I reach higher and raise my status so that I become a teacher, not just a regular person. And she says, oh, this is so cool. Okay? And very quickly, she came, she improved. How? Because she saw that our paradigm is a little bit higher than Jewel Mountain. And she liked it. She says, when she was in Korea, said, I'm so cool, these young people, I really like them. You know, there's a lot to live for. And then, but. Then she came here, she realized that our standards are far higher. And he said, this is so cool. It's humbling. Yes or no? Little one. She thought she was cool. She thought, I am so experienced. I am so mature. And these young people, they are struggling so much. She came here. She saw even younger people. I will have much higher standards. And that's the Dharma we're talking about. This Dharma is such high standards. You learn the Dharma, okay? And this Dharma is showing you higher and higher level standards. That's what you want to teach your children. I'm doing the same thing to you as the parents would do for your children. Show them higher standards in life. Because they deserve higher standards. Okay? Why? Not only higher standards, because with higher standards, you have something called a way, fan, meaning way is Chinese for wheel, track path, rail, and so forth. Fan is a mold, pattern, mold, boundary, rule, and law, and control, all those things. You can look it up in the dictionary. I'm not here to be your dictionary. See, I spend the time, and then I can throw it away. You see, that's the Dharma. You put in a lot of work thinking about this, and then you go to the lecture and say, no, I don't want to talk about this. It's too boring. Okay? So, with higher standards, okay, actually what's beautiful about this is high standards for higher safety for you. What's the point in raising standards if you are more vulnerable? Huh? As you raise the standards, you should be more secure, safer, richer. Yes? More fulfilled. Yes? And in order to do that, there's some guidelines, some areas, boundaries, where you stay within that boundaries, you will not make mistakes. Isn't that beautiful? The reason that you suffer because you make mistakes. Look at your children. Huh? How do you teach children? Watch them make mistakes and then correct them. Yes? What if you were to tell your children, son, be more respectful? Honey, be more truthful. Son, do not steal. You see, those are the guidelines, the paradigms, the boundaries. If you stay within the boundaries, you will find happiness, my friends. Did your parents teach you that? Buddha did to us. So in order for my 3 disciples to be so happy last night, because they stay within those boundaries until they're ready for me to show them why they're able to do the things they do. Yes, White.
The background you just mentioned, Sangha from Korea recognize that different level, different paradigms. One is more from the secular language, we would say is more effective or more advanced, right? So for the knowledge that, or for the information that you have, I don't have, are there any other temple? I don't think there is any. Is more above us.
You think I'm going to shoot myself in the foot by answering that question?
Of course you won't. So I want to say it's like
the answer is I don't want to answer. I'm too humble. Humility forbids me. So my point, what a stupid question. I'm offended. Wait a minute. Shouldn't I feel offended? Is it okay to be offended, folks? If someone asks you that question, should we be offended? My point here is that, but this particular novice of mine, her standards are so high that when she met something with higher standards than hers, she says, wow, I like this. But she ain't seen nothing yet. Okay? Yeah. See? Happy baby. All right. So the tracks here, the boundaries here are for your safety, for your comfort, for your enjoyment. Remember, you go to the pleasure district and so forth. Okay, you go to churches and all those things because you find good things there. Don't venture into the drug areas. Okay, and so forth. You see that? Those are very practical. Not just theory, folks. The Dharma jewel is very practical. When you learn the Dharma jewel, supposed to benefit you immediately, folks. It's not intellectual concepts. You benefit immediately. Yes, Orange.
Are you talking about the precepts?
Precepts, Avatamsaka, all of those. I only refer to you the safety, the boundaries, but also within the boundaries, it actually defines you, gives you a roadmap. You know, if you want to have good Neapolitan pizza, go to Italy. You know, go there. That's roadmap right there. Okay? You want to have, I don't know, Mahayana, go to, Bosco's temple. Okay, he knows where the best is. Okay, and so forth. You see, the point here is that all that special knowledge right there, okay, gives you the boundaries and the tracks. If you get on the track like you get on a trail, on a train, you will get to your destination, guaranteed, unless you have a train wreck. See that? You know, that's a path right there. It's beautiful. Yes, purport.
Con trả lời cái cô đại hàng này đó, thầy cổ rất là thành tâm. Thầy cổ đó từ đại hàng mà còn lặn lội tới bên đây mà cổ tìm thầy để tu, là cái đó một cái phước báo rất là lớn của cổ. Mình ở đây mình gần thầy đó, có khi mình không có tới, mình không có đủ một cái phước báo mà tới đây mà để tới đây tu với thầy nữa. Là cái đó là cái lỗi của mình chứ không phải lỗi của ai. Cái người thành tâm với người không thành tâm là nó khác xa rất là nhiều thầy. Mô Phật.
Master, for this Korean lady, I see that she's very sincere, that she came from far away to come here to practice. That is her blessing. It's very big, because there are many of us that even though we are close to Master, but we don't have enough blessing to come to practice. So that is our fault.
But that's also, I'm also praising her in that when at least in this late stages of her life, she decided to change tracks. That's remarkable. How many of you are willing to do that? Lily, would you do that? She says, no, I love my husband. I love my son. Right? It takes courage. it's not easily done. And yet, when she stepped into that, she said, her first reaction said, I don't know, these young people who are telling me what to do, I'm not sure they know what they're doing themselves. But she came here and she see how chaotic our life is, our temple is. And behind it all, this is extremely high standards, okay? That everyone measures up to, okay? It's not about mine, it's about the Wei Yang lineage. It's about the top level training expectations in our lineage, okay? And the tracks that people before she laid out for her as well. It's not theory from me. It's about these people who walked the path already. And said, wow, yeah. That's how you get there. And it takes courage to dare cut all your beautiful hair. Throw away your expensive clothes. Okay? And to go in there and say, oh, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. You see that? So that's what the Dharma is. You need to cross the fence, get over the fence to see it. You cannot stay outside and expect to be able to understand everything. You need to cross the fence, open the door, get inside, to see what's it. It's like inside. It's not something you can see from the outside. It's something you can experience from the outside. Okay? All right. So that's what the Dharma is. The Dharma is that special knowledge that worldly people don't have. So that's why if you want inspirations, how to guide your children, I would study the Buddha Dharma. You want inspirations to guide your crazy patients, I would study the Buddha Dharma. Okay? Because it gives you all this, the insights, insider knowledge, if you will, which stocks to buy, Stay away from cryptocurrency because it's all speculations, all that kind of thing, they wiped out $1 trillion in wealth already the last week. Huh? Scary. Think about it. $1 trillion, 1 week. People lost. All right. Finally, the Sangha jewel. Sangha jewel to me is very interesting because by definition, because the Buddha's virtue, the Sangha jewel is created, came about. What for? To execute this lifestyle called harmony and no fighting. And that's how we should live our life. Harmoniously with others, no fighting. Don't think yourself as North and South Koreans, Republicans and Democrats, men, women, Amazons and men, Amazonian women, and men, Scorpion kings and pirates, AA PI, Asian American Pacific Islanders, and what's the opposite? Everyone else? Us against the world? That kind of thing, okay? Harmony, no fighting. That's how you live your life. Harmony with everyone, no fighting. Yes, by number 2.
I have a question on the definition of that harmony and fighting. So, does that mean you're fighting with the other person? Now, if you live with a person, and then this person that you live with gets super upset and angry, and fire comes up, no matter what you do, you walk straight, you walk left, walk right. Now, is that a fighting? How do you live in harmonious in this scenario? That other person just get upset no matter what you do. So you are wrong whichever direction you go.
Are you asking me or asking it for yourself?
So
when you ask that, how do you live in harmony without fighting? Is you're asking me, or you asking how do I live in harmony without fighting? I need to clarify that before I answer
I'm
you.
asking you, so am I, for myself, so am I fighting? How do I, or am I in harmony? Okay. I'm fighting now.
Let her have it.
See, it just happened. So are we in harmonious with this siren that's coming to us? Or are we fighting with it? How are we going to be
Let's shelve it for
harmonious?
now. The Sunnims, when you go to your training school, yes? I'm told that they, the Koreans, the way they train their monks and nuns, would you like to know? Yes. Yes. I thought you might be interested. You can go, yeah. You fit right in. Go to Korea. Is that to learn to live together? Am I right? You learn to live together. Same space. Okay? Same temple. So you learn to work together, clean together, together. Yes? They are not taught how. They're just put into the same room, the same kitchen, and just make it happen. Yes? There's no in the US of A, in our US of A, they would have training classes, right? Training sessions, how to get along with your fellow left-home person. Okay? No, in Korea, they just put them together and mix them. Put them through a grinder, and pretty soon, you're all mixed up. Yes? That's how Hinayana people do it. Suppression. If you survive, then the only way for you to survive, basically, primarily, is to suppress your, when you tumble all these rocks together with sharp edges, eventually all the edges wear out and you have smooth rocks. Understand? So that's what happens. Hinayana training is that they tumble and tumble, mix them until all the rough edges are polished. That's how you train your children as well. You throw them together and they fight. I remember I fought with my older brother, my younger brother, and then cried and so forth. And eventually, after a while, you accept each other. You said, there's no point in getting angry. There's no point in fighting because They're brother. They're sisters. What are you going to do? Okay? So, by default, if you are tumbling together in the same tumbler, okay, you will be harmonious. That's what I call by suppression. In Buddhist teaching, one way to resolve afflictions is, how do you control the grass from growing? You take a rock, lay on top of the grass stops growing. Is to paraphrase, grass is like your affliction. You have so many afflictions. When you walk into the front door of the temple, okay, you think you're smart, you think you're special, you think you're better, you think you're taller, you think all those things. And after you hang around with all the short people and all the stupid people, pretty soon you say, I don't know, there's no point anymore, you know? See? The same happened here. Some people walk in here and say, I'm smarter than all of them. I look at her and say, you think you're smarter and better than my disciples? Say, oh, definitely. Okay? And after all this time, still thinks she's better. Anyway, it doesn't work. It doesn't always work. Okay? But in Buddhism, one way to achieve the effect is to take a rock and put it on the grass. And the grass will stop growing, okay? For sure. Until you lift the rock. Then it grows again. That's why I call by suppression. You force yourself into these guidelines, these molds, these tracks. And it works for a while. Mahayana. So in Hinayana, they force you to stop fighting. Got that? Because in a tumbler, there's only so much space. You fight this, you can run around, fight this person, fight that person. You still pretty soon you go back to the same person again. So you can, if you keep fighting, it's endless. It will never stop. So eventually you say, okay, I give up. I don't fight anymore. That's suppression. Because you realize it's not beneficial to fight. You better hide. Like taking a rock, put it on your affliction. That's contain it for now. Got that? That's how they survive. But in Mahayana, we're different. We let you fight it out. Kill each other. Kill her. Try to kill her. Go ahead. See if you can. You see that? Try to kill her. Try to kill her. Let me see if you can do it. It's brutality. Remember this morning I said this?
No wonder there's so many knives in the kitchen.
You see that? So in Mahayana, okay? In Mahayana, we let you fight it out. Okay? Fight it out. And this is where we're different from Master Srinhua's temples. Master Srinhua said, you, Chinese system, Korean system, we need to put a rock in our afflictions. Here, especially you from Korea, you'll be shocked, because here we let you go at each other's throat quickly and mercilessly. Go kill each other. Go ahead. Yes, black.
Cái này một cái gia đình như vậy đó là nó đấu đá với nhau, là những cái đó là một cái quan nghiệp với nhau, là hoặc là một cái Quan nghiệp với nhau. Quan gia trái chủ.
Yeah. Of course, all those. Doesn't matter. So that's why this Korean novice here, she came here because she's fighting in Korea. She came here and she realized what her fighting in Korea is nothing compared to here. Here we kill each other. We don't fight. We encourage you to kill each other. It's okay. Over there, they only disagree and they don't like each other. Over here, just go for each other's throat. Just take a knife and kill her. And what happened is that you survive it. You naturally are stronger. Why? Because I went through Vietnam War. And those who survived, we are very strong. Those who are dead are dead. Yeah, but they forgot about it already. We still haven't forgotten. We were so traumatized by the Vietnam War. I think of killing and violence all the time. Okay? I grew up in violence. It's normal. My point here is that there's a point that if you let them fight it out, eventually, the one who's stronger can take the beating. There is a method behind this madness. The one who's stronger can take the beating. The one who's weaker, who tried to kill the one stronger, will eventually get tired and say, "Oh, what the hell? I tried so hard day and night, night and day and night and day, and she's not dead." You are violent. You will fit in. Okay? The point here is that you can be yourself. You don't need to suppress yourself. Because why? It benefits both sides. When you keep on showing your ugliness and your vileness and your violence and so forth, eventually you'll be embarrassed. You say, "Oh my God, am I really like that?" Whereas the other person, "Yes, I forgive you. Yes, I can take it. Yes, you're only embarrassing yourself." And that's the position of a teacher. You teach by taking it. And sometimes, they run away because they can't take it. It doesn't always work. Yes, sir.
So that means I could bring my clients to see how much they can handle? To see how much they can handle. Bring my clients here.
Your clients to do what?
Can I bring my clients over here to see how much we can handle?
Oh, he wants to use the client. They have to be Buddhists first. And then you have to shave their heads. Okay? And then they have to eat 1 meal a day. Even with 1 meal a day, you can't fight very long. Now you know why we eat 1 meal a day. Fight all you want. But you only eat 1 meal a day. You don't care. I don't care how old you are. 1 meal a day. See how much fighting you can do. Okay. So my point here is that I'm making fun of the process, but this process here is that there's a particular training here which enables you to embrace the differences. So at first, it's fighting in order not to fight, learning not to fight. Whereas his temples, the other better temples, they take a rock and they only suppress it. Here, we let you become your true self, behave like animals. It's perfectly okay. Like it? And that's the Sangha. So the Sangha, whatever we do, is the body that is eventually knows how to live in harmony. We choose to do it by tolerating each other, by not only tolerating, by embracing our ickiness. Okay? Because unless you can do that, you cannot help others. Because outside our walls, look at him. They're so icky. Right? They come to your office. You see? Yes.
Because on the real life, when you go out there, like even I had to run for my life. So literally like run for my life. So,
because what happened is that, my friend, is that if I only allow them to train them to suppress it, eventually when they start working, they will meet someone, they will blow the top on. And that's very dangerous. We're not supposed to do that. You see that? That's why there's different preferences. Hinayana, they suppress it so that they survive this training and they become fully ordained. Over here, we let you go at it, okay? Go for each other's throat. If you survive, you will learn how to let go and tolerate others' ickiness. That's it. Okay? So, one way is suppression, one is to let you learn how to fight first so that you can choose to live in harmony. Different approaches. That's why I call Hinayana versus Mahayana. And same thing at home, same thing at work, same thing nationwide. That's called wisdom. You have a ruler who can see that, have that kind of vision, he'll be the one I would vote for, whoever he is. Democrat, Republican, independent, bisexual, multi, whatever they call themselves nowadays, okay? Transgender, LGBTQ, SMG, whatever, okay? S&M, whatever, I don't care. Okay, you have that kind of wisdom, I vote for you. Compare that, for example, I'm sorry, anyone Japanese here today? The Japanese, they force everyone to a mode of harmony. Okay? It's called suppression. It builds resentment. Yeah, cool? Okay, that's all I have for you today. I'm sorry I went overboard, went over time. Let's do a rebirth transference. Thank you all.
Master, you haven't talked about education at home.
What?
The application at home?
Application at home? I don't know how to apply at home. I'm left home life already.